I love it. Make me feel good. Well done. I have faith in you, sir.
Time to go. Have the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have the minutes to the last meeting here, right? And do I have a motion to accept them?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? You have to add your own to it, okay? Here you go, Jim. You got it? Okay. Do you have any mail to be concerned with? No? Does the county attorney have anything important to talk about?
No, I'm reviewing your contract right now, but not for you guys. So
Oh,
I don't have anything for you.
you don't have anything, okay. Do we have any committee reports? No committees have met in the last month. Commissioners representative, Dale, you got anything for us?
I will if you want to hear it, Bob.
I want to hear it. I show up just for your report.
Okay.
But you tell us what we got to do.
We had a relatively short meeting today, but we did approve an authorizing resolution today pertaining to Fayette County Transit. After the agreement we signed today, the Union County Commissioners will now be the, what's the term they use, Jane? The grant recipients for public transit. This is all part of a regionalization that the state is imposing, combining several counties together to supposedly make the thing more cost efficient. So if you hear any talk about that, we're still in the transportation business here at the Senior Center, but the Union County Commissioners will be the pass-through agency as far as the funding goes. So that part of it we will no longer have to deal with. So we'll see how this goes, but we do not expect it to affect the quality of service. We approved 2 144s today. One for our maintenance department. We approved a 144 for Gavin McLaughlin, and he's a high school student that will be serving as a high school internship in our maintenance department. And the other, Tyler Burgess, for the 911 department. Have Kelly out there. We also approved the purchase of some new refrigeration equipment for the health department, a new freezer and refrigerator. And I guess the equipment we've got down there is getting kind of agey, and it's not just any freezer will work down there. You got to get down to 30, 40 below zero. So we'll be retiring some of that equipment down there. Dave can tell you later here, but we approved a quotation for work at the animal shelter to put epoxy on the floors in the new animal shelter building for $8,500, and with all the labor donated, and we really appreciate that. And this will just about finish that job up. We also, I asked the commissioners to go along with me, and we actually took a vote on this. If you've been down, well, Jim, you see it the other day going home, those barriers that the state has on the State Road 1. 19 miles north of a bridge project down at Brookville is creating quite a traffic hazard. So we're going to give the Indiana DOT an official request to do something about this and move these things out of the way, because there's so many people are having to dodge those things. It's become a hazard, and we don't see the need or necessity of it this far up. So hopefully that'll make driving, if we can get them to move them, make the road a little safer over there in Everton also. And also, one last thing, we met with Doug Nussbaum last week out at Manilove Park. We've received the final version of the sediment removal plan for Manilove Lake. And we're pretty well settled on a plan of action. And Doug is currently trying to get our permitting, all the permitting taken care of for us, because there will be some permits from the state involved in this. So I had 2 copies of this plan printed especially for you guys. Now, I've only got 2 copies. I'm going to make these available in the auditor's office. If you want to read them, come in, tell Jane you need it, and then return it so the next member can read it. Because eventually I'll be standing here asking you for some sort of appropriation on this project. Don't know when or how much, but it's bound to happen. So it's important to us for you to see this plan, understand what all is involved here and what all is going to have to be done.
And is there a grant to go along with that also?
Yeah, we've already been awarded a $100,000 LARA grant from the state. But if you know, there's going to be, along with the sediment removal, we're going to have to plan on rebuilding or replacing the spillway itself. And so far, I haven't found any grant money for that. If that falls entirely on us, we'll have to find some way to deal with it. But at the very least, there would be engineering costs and that sort of thing. So this is some pretty interesting reading. You want to take some time to look it over. So come in and tell the auditor you want to see the sediment removal plan. Look it over. When you get done with it, bring it back so the next person can do the same thing. That's all I have.
Any questions?
I've got one deal. Are you guys going to expand the hours on the senior citizen transportation buses?
On transportation, that is a matter that's under discussion right now. What the decision has been made, we have agreed to extend the hours over there, but it hasn't been put in place yet.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, transfers for the state 911 fund 1222, account 40400 equipment. Kelly?
You might not get to get them and break your sign. Okay. It might be Greek to you, but at least you'll know where I'm at here. Okay. So, we've got, you know, all the new radio equipment. We all went to 800s. And so, since we've done that, it all went good. But then as we went along and had everybody on the 800 program with the VHFs, we have discovered that in the basement there was still one more very ancient piece of equipment, and it's similar to a combiner, which is what I'm asking for the money today for. The combiner today is an 8-port one. The one in the basement is maybe 2 ports because and it's probably around 20 years old, or when the original 911 was put in there, because back in the day, we only did VHF. We didn't do all this fancy, we're 800s now. So what the, let me get my glasses on here and get you. So the total amount's the $14,290, but I'm asking for appropriations from the 911 budget of the half to $71.45. May 20th, I'm gonna go to city with Scott Jones and ask for the other half of the amount. So what the combiner does is it allows multiple radios to function on a pair of antennas. This allows all the 800s to go together on the two antennas compared to the current one downstairs. It's a low-grade broadband, and it's only got one antenna. So basically, we're getting our information out, but we have a lot of like, the description that I could give you is, it just does that. Like it'll come back on us as a like a bonk sound, or as we are giving out the information, it will bonk or do the same, and they'll miss out on some of the traffic that we've given out. So that's why we need to do this.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do you have to have any other suppliers you can look at besides this one?
No, because ECS is our dedicated radio vendor. Okay, so before I even got this job, you just do not bounce around to radio vendors. You do not. Not because they're not competent or able, but you just don't. You stay with who's your radio person that installed. You just can't buy a Ford.
We don't know whether they're giving us a good, fair price.
I understand, but in this world, believe it or not, even though we have a lot of radio vendors, like ERS we can't have because those are the ones we knocked out. They did us a little wrong, and so we've had them not ever come back to us in the county. I think the city uses them, but we do not. And yes, this Kenwood dealer, there's other Kenwood dealers, but what happens is when you have somebody install this, okay, it's like you've bought a Jeep, so you don't want the Ford dealership to work on your vehicle, even though Ford's giving you a better deal. You want to stay with who built your system. So we stay to the dedicated person.
I disagree with that, but go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, we have loud feedback and dispatch, and some of the traffic that we're putting out, there's some interrupting feedback there on their end too. And we'll have to repeat the traffic or repeat the information because they didn't hear it because of the conflict. So that's what the combiner does. It basically combines, so this is an 8-port. We have 7 agencies that we dispatch for. You can't get really a 7-port. It's either 8, 4, it's in the even numbers. So this will allow a smooth transition to where everybody's not doing that feedback. And it just needs to be updated because it's not handling the load downstairs. So that's why we need to do this. And again, this is just a little bit of trial and error on the fact that when we put the radio system in and did all the 800, getting the state tower under control with how we were going to simulcast all the departments. We got that on board, and then on the final inspection of everything downstairs and the install, we know the combiner down there we noticed was not going to take the hit for what we were doing with combining the 800s. And so that's why we had to go ahead and add this on. And again, I'm asking for the $71.45 from my funds, my 911 funds, to be appropriated to it.
Go back to your Jeep versus Ford.
Uh-huh.
There's hundreds of Jeep dealerships.
Uh-huh.
If you decide to go buy a Jeep,
Right.
each one of them will quote you a different price.
True.
Do you go to one and buy, or do you look at several? There's the same product is distributed by many,
Yes.
many
You are correct.
people out there.
Yes.
There are people that deal in huge volumes.
Right.
They can cut better prices than the one you got.
Okay. And
I'm not saying they will cut you a better
Right.
price, but I'm saying you need to look.
Okay, and I'm not disputing that.
Okay.
It's just that since I have been in the 911 system business before director, and this has passed, they've always had us stay with the same vendor. Because, I mean, usually we have a contract. We don't have a contract with these people. Because
Even more the reason to look.
So if that's what I have to do, I can do that, but we just don't go outside the box with our radio guys.
But staying in the box sometimes costs money.
True,
This county's got to stop wasting money,
I agree.
and that's one place you start.
Okay,
I'm not demanding you to do anything, but I'm
no, I
saying-
understand, I'm not taking it that way. I understand, and I appreciate the information, I do, so I get it. I understand, it's just, we've just always dedicated ourselves to one programming system for that
And you
because,
get comfortable with people,
yes,
but there are other people out there in the same business,
well,
just
and,
as sharp, maybe even a little bit sharper.
well, true, but, and sadly though, I feel like though, when you go away from your intended person that you
You're
have
a
built.
comfortable person.
True, or the person that gave us the best deal when we were out looking for radio vendors.
But you know, a vendor, once he establishes a customer that he feels no threat from any other vendor,
You feel like they just lop a price to you,
he will
and
lobby a price because he knows he can't.
I could see where that would be. In my mind, in this little world of 911, I just don't want to be bad blood with the vendor that we have because they show up whenever we want them, you know,
So do the other vendors.
and not unless you have a contract.
If it's demanded of them to get your business, why wouldn't a vendor show up if he knows he can get your business?
I agree with that.
So we need to look.
Yes, we will do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that's all I have on this, other than other questions that you might have on what I just explained this does.
Now, you
Why we
say-
need it.
You say you take this from your 911 fund, and yet you're asking for additional appropriations, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be from the unbudgeted amount of money that I would have in my 911 fund.
Any more questions? Okay, do I have a motion to pay the $71.45 for additional?
I think we need to look for more pricing
Okay.
first.
Can you try to get more quotes, Kelly?
Why not?
Can you try to get more quotes?
I can. I mean, I'm not saying that we can not get them.
We can get them. And I guess if I could, I'd like to go back to Dale. Buying these freezers. How many quotes did you get on them?
Yeah. 3,
Great.
It's also.
Thank you.
yeah. And I didn't add that they were, received a grant to pay for these things.
Well, but still,
I know it's still money, but
And this price here of the $71.45, it would be contingent anyway.
but we can wait
As
till we
in
know
city.
where we're going.
Yeah, well,
first.
and I'm gonna ask city for the other half of the 14, so that's a
Okay.
contingency it's on too. And that's not till May 20th.
But we don't need to get ahead of ourselves.
Right, so we'll go ahead, I'll go ahead and, as of tomorrow, do further homework on this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I do have another thing I'm asking, if we're done with that. Are we done? For the
As
next
far as
one?
I am, yeah.
Okay, so I do not have in my budget an equipment line, an equipment fund. I already have money to transfer into an equipment fund. I just need to create one. Is that right, Jane?
Pretty much.
Okay, so I've already done the transfer of money into, it's gonna be 4,400, if 40, and then 400 on an equipment line item. I don't have an equipment line. And so when I went to take like a new printer that I had gotten out of my budget, I really didn't have any place to take that from. I had office furniture, but, you
And
know.
again, how many quotes did you get on the printer?
Well, now Mike the IT guy did that. So he purchased that under whatever, and he usually gets really good deals, so I don't know, but it's up to me ultimately to pay for it. It was a $300 printer.
I understand.
Okay, so again, I was just gonna incorporate a funding line for my equipment. So I needed to ask for that tonight to go ahead and put that money into that line.
Okay.
Need a motion to that effect? Do I have a motion letter to do that? just moving money. It's already in there.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay.
All right, I think we're good. And then, like I said, I'll probably see you again. You guys have a great day.
Okay.
Thank you.
Chisel them.
Okay, next,
Chisel the vendors.
additional appropriation to Animal Shelter Donation Fund 4102, accounting 30502 remodeling costs. One for $5,500 and one for $8,500. That's an additional appropriation of $14,000. So,
Evening. Like Dell was saying that for our proxy for our flooring, the original estimate was $18,000. We did get 3 quotes, but this one here was the best one because Combs is donating their labor. It's $9,500.
Can you
So-
beat that?
No, we can't. I've done chopped around, so we can't. So we had got to appropriate $8,500 from the donation fund to get this taken care of for epoxying the floor. So that's what I needed there. Then the $5,500 on the other part that comes out of the donation. It was for the work that was done for electric and all that. It was all, electric was screwed up there a lot. I mean, they had it running every which way.
Who did that job?
I don't know who started it up there, but Richard had his guy come in, Dave, to help him get it all straightened up. And that's where a lot of the extra stuff came in from at the end of the, after the end. So I wasn't thrilled to see it, and I wasn't thrilled to tell it. You know, but you know, it's got just see if we can get appropriation for that. You know, for all that was done.
Are you done remodeling?
As soon as the remodeling part's done, I just got to get the epoxy on the floor done. Then I can start setting up the rooms and get them ready. Then after I get them all ready, we can have like an open house and let people come up and look at what was done.
Looks good. I've been there. It looks good.
do we have a motion to allow the $14,000 additional appropriation for that?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, you got it.
Okay, then the
When do you think you'll have your
transfer.
open house?
As soon as I get this floor done, I'll try to get a date set up and try to get the newspaper and all that up there.
Make sure you let all of us know.
I will definitely try to let you guys know. But you know, I'm happy with the building, the way it turned out.
That's good.
It looks good, it does.
Okay, David.
Okay, and then I just need to get the transfers from, I don't have my papers with me, Jane, sorry. Thank you, Jane. Okay, from the, where we put the money into the equipment from the donation at the time for the furnace and, you know, for the HVAC, I need to transfer that over to the supply line. And that is the 20290 supply line. That would be $1,750.
That's just a simple
A
transfer.
request, simple transfer
Transfer's already
that helps pay for the material. Then the other one is $4,000, come from the equipment where we took it out of donation to the building maintenance to help pay for the labor for the furnace and water heater and all that there. So that's all that needs done there.
Okay. Do we want to take them together or individually?
Yeah,
Together, okay. Together. Do I have a motion to accept the transfer of the $1,750 and $4,000?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. So, they're approved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay, you got it.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, and next we have a transfer request statewide 911 City Share Fund 4912 from account 10200, Social Security Medicare to account 4400.
She did. She did that one while she was up there. That was the second one that she did.
Oh, we've already got that done then?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's been done, all right. Well, then we are looking at 144s, there are none. Any old business? None. Okay, we have a library appointment, Lynette Eklund. Is she here tonight? You want to explain that, Jane?
Well, I forwarded all of you guys the email last month from Betsy Slavens, the library director. Lynette has been serving on the board as your council representative, and she just wants reappointed to another term.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, she's got the job. Oh darn, the only thing we got left is adjournment.
I'll make a motion.
Does that have a second? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You can stay here all night if you want to, but, okay, thank you for showing up. All four of you, or three of us, four of us, okay. We got it done.
Dedication.